Okay, question time. Give me a raise of hands if this is you. How many of you feel like your business, your content, your brand is who you are? It's part of your identity. Like, you've poured your heart and soul. This is your life's mission, your life's purpose. You've poured your heart and soul into this, and you feel like this is absolutely who I am. This is absolutely part of my identity. Raise your hand, or just raise your hand mentally if you feel like you'd say yes to this. Like, absolutely, my brand, my business, my content, like, this is who I am, 100%. I mean, like, yeah, like, you've poured your heart and soul into it. That's obviously who you are, right? Wrong. I used to think the same thing. And the first time I asked myself this, I was like, girl, what are you talking about? Wrong. Yeah, that's right. No, it's not. And we're about to unpack why. But first, let me just say welcome back to my exclusive podcast and YouTube series that's based on my keynote, Going Viral is an Inside Job, where we are talking about not just a content strategy, not just like, here's some hooks to go viral. No, we are talking about how to shift your identity into the person who goes viral. So, coming back to our question time of raise your hand if you feel like your business is who you are, your content, your brand is who you are, like, heart and soul in it, that's your identity, right? Part of your identity. Wrong. I struggled with this the first time I heard this. When I asked myself this, I was like, do I feel like my business is who I am? And I was like, duh, of course that's who you are. Like, that's everything, like, you've worked your entire life for. That's all your childhood trauma, like, channeled into, something successful. Like, this is, of course, who you are. What are you talking about? That's not who you are. Like, what do you mean separate that from your identity? That is your identity. And then once I stopped arguing with myself and I started to think about, okay, what does this actually mean? My business is not who I am, or my brand is not who I am. Like, what does this actually mean? And how can I make peace with this? And how can I separate my identity from this so that when my business is good and I'm good, that's great. But then when my business is down, then I'm feeling down. So how can I separate myself from my business so that I don't have all the highs and lows? Because obviously business, brand, content, it all has highs and lows naturally. So when my business is doing really good, I feel great. But when it's not, if that's my identity, then am I supposed to not feel great? Like, how do I separate that so I can just be chilling, be good all the time? And if my business is down, it doesn't mean something about me. It's not like, oh my God, my whole identity is crashing into the ground right now. No. So after I sat with this for a second and I allowed myself to process my feelings about it and really think about it, I came to the realization, and I want to make this very, very clear for all of us. Your business is not who you are. Your content is not who you are. Your brand is not who you are. Even if it's a personal brand, that is not who you are. You are able to create a business. You are able to have a successful personal brand. You are able to create amazing content because of who you are. Those things are not who you are. You are able to create, to have those things because of who you are. And now you might be like, okay, Kate, cute quote, but like, what the heck does that even mean? I'm not following. I don't understand. Well, let me give you an example. You are not a business owner. Your business is not who you are. You are able to have a business because of who you are. You're not a business owner. You are ambitious. You are creative. You are determined. You are resilient. You are innovative. That is who you are. Those qualities are who you are. And because you've channeled those qualities properly and in an effective, productive, beautiful, creative, innovative way, you are able to create a business. You are able to be a business owner. But you wouldn't sit here and say, I'm a business owner. That's not your identity. That's one thing you do. That's one thing you have. But who you are is those qualities that allows you to have those things, that allows you to do those things. You are ambitious, you are determined, you are driven, you are resilient. That is who you are. So when I say you are not your success, you are not your business, you have a business, you are successful because of who you are, that is what I mean. You are not these external, physical, tangible things that you can identify as. You are the qualities that allow you to be good at those things, that allow you to have those things. You're not a content creator. You're someone who's creative. You're someone who's authentic. You're someone who can voice her opinion. You're someone who's thoughtful, who's compassionate, who's smart, funny, creative, whatever your content is. Like, you are not your content. You are not a content creator. You are not an influencer. You are not famous. You're not a celebrity. You are not viral. You are someone who is great at being themselves. You are someone who is authentic, who believes in themselves, who sees themselves as worthy. Those qualities allow you to have all of those external physical world titles and identities because of the qualities, the innate internal qualities, inherent qualities that you actually are. Those qualities are who you actually are. This is so important to remember because when you take these external physical world identities, achievements, these physical successes, these physical items, these like little trophies and checklist items or resume items that you can say, oh, I have this many followers. Oh, my business hit this much in a month. You can remember that those things are not who you are, but the qualities that allow you to do those things, that is actually the essence of who you are. And I bring this up because when you remember the actual essence of who you are, the actual essence of why you started these projects or why you started this journey to begin with, when you remember those things, you can channel those things into your content, and that allows you to show up more authentically. That allows you to be better at what you're doing because you don't tie yourself into this box of saying, oh, well, I'm just a 10K a month business owner. So like, this is what I have to talk about in my content about, oh, well, here's how you can make 10K a month and this and that. No, you remember, oh, I'm ambitious. I'm driven. I think differently. I reframe things, or I am funny and I talk to myself this way about this thing. And that is what people want to see, right? What are those qualities that allowed you to get here? Talk about those, embrace those. And if anything, just draw those into your content more. If you are resilient, if you are creative, if you are determined to like use that to channel into your content where you're making content every day, you're consistent, you're resilient. Even on days when you don't feel like it, you're showing up doing it anyway. If you're creative, find funny, cool, new ways to create content. You don't have to do it the same way everyone else and their mother is doing it online. If being creative and innovative is one of your true core essences, find ways to channel that into your content. And most importantly, when you can remember and identify these qualities, these innate essences that you have, it makes you better at everything you're doing, not just content, but business, but the things that you are walking around saying, oh, well, I, hit this much a month in revenue, and I have this many followers, and my content does this, and my business does this, and I like all of these physical, tangible, real world checklist, trophy items, whatever you want to call them, these physical things that you can identify as. When you remember that the innovation, the creativity, the resilience in you is what allowed you to be good at all of those things in the first place, it makes you 10 times better at all the things you're doing because you're not identifying with these limiting titles. Because when you come back to these qualities, those are limitless. You can do anything with those. If you walk around and you're saying, oh, I make 10K a month in business, that's great, but what about 20K? What about 30K? What about 40K? What about 50K? What's next? If you start identifying with just these simple, physical, real world titles, those can be, even if they're great, even if they're expansive, they can still be limiting. But when you say, I'm resilient, I'm determined, I'm always trying to get to the next level in a new creative way, I'm innovative, I'm always like trying to reach my potential, I'm limitless, I'm all these things. When you say that, well, now it's not, oh, I'm only a 10K a month business owner. It's, okay, I'm someone who's limitless. So I could be a 10K business owner. I could be a 50K business owner. I could do whatever I want. And you bring yourself back to these true qualities of who you are that allows you to expand in all of these other areas of your life and allows you to do better in all these areas of your life because you're not limiting yourself to that title and boxing yourself in. You're remembering how you got there in the first place, why you got there in the first place, who you are to get there in the first place is because of these qualities that you have. Not because of the titles, not because of the achievements, not because of the checklist, because of the qualities, the essence that you had to get there in the first place. And when you remember these qualities that allowed you to get to the achievements you have right now, that allowed you to get to a point in your career right now where you're like, okay, how do I get to the next thing? How do I expand my content? How do I expand my business? What can I do next? When you're trying to get from one level to the next, saying I'm a 10K a month business owner isn't going to take you there. Saying I'm determined, I'm resilient, I'm innovative, I'm creative, those qualities will take you to your next level, when you remember the qualities of what got you here, and you know that those are always going to be the qualities that get you to the next level in some way, shape, or form, when you remember that who you are, who got you to these things, is who is going to carry you to the next thing, to the next level, that makes your success that much easier to expand. It makes it that much easier to make what you want happen. These are the skills, these are the qualities, these are the attributes that got you here. They are what will get you to the next level. They are what will carry you through every level of success. They are what will get you through every obstacle along the way, right? You can have these external physical world titles and achievements, but when you run into an obstacle, flexing all these titles, all these achievements that you said aren't going to carry you through these obstacles. But being resilient, being creative, being innovative, that will get you through the obstacles. That will help you keep going. That will help you stay on this path, hold that identity, and make sure that what you want is inevitable. When you remember these qualities about yourself, not these achievements that you have, but the qualities that allowed you to get the achievements in the first place are the same qualities that will allow you to get the next set of achievements. These are also the qualities that put you in a category of one, that puts you in a lane of your own, that knocks out any competition. Even if there are thousands, millions of other people who offer the same service, who market the same thing, who are selling the same thing or the same solution, the way you do it and the qualities about you that allow you to do it the way you do it, that is what makes you special. That is your unique selling point. That is your unique value proposition, is that you do it your way with these qualities that you have. You're compassionate, you're creative, you show people a certain way to do it because of who you are. Not what you're doing, not your achievements, not the results you promise, the way you do it. The way you do it is built up of these qualities, of these attributes, of this essence of who you are, and that's what makes you the one to do what you do. That's what makes you stand out in your marketing, and that's what calls in your people, your followers, your community, your clients, is who you are and the way you do it. Not your achievements, not your titles. There's hundreds, thousands, millions of other people who could say the same thing, who have the same certification, who have the same, checkpoints in their career. They have the same lists on their resume. What makes you good at what you do and what makes you exist in a lane of one is the essence, the qualities, these attributes that make you you, that got you here in the first place. The same thing that got you here is the same thing that will call in your people when you remember that that's who you are and that that's what makes you special and you the one to do what you do. It will never be what you do. There's always going to be people who do the same thing you do. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to come up with some offering, some service, something that's never been done before, because the thing that's never been done before is you. The thing that's never been done before is your energy, your unique soul blueprint, the qualities, the essence that makes you you. That is what's never been done before. You can have the same titles, the same success as so many other people, but the qualities that make you you are what will make you stand out. The way you talk about something, the way you say it, the way you explain it, the energy you go about it with. Someone might understand the way you say it and never have understood the way anyone else has explained it before. So what makes you successful, what puts you ahead of every single other person who's doing similar things or who has similar titles or similar results or similar programs to what you're doing, is you. You are the one thing that has no competition, is your unique essence, who you are, your qualities, that cannot be copied. That cannot be duplicated. That is your biggest advantage, is you being you. So I want you to really get to know and remember who you are. What allowed you to get here in the first place? What set you on this trajectory, on this path to start a business, to have the followers, to be posting online, to have a mission, to be passionate about something? What set you up here in the first place? What are those qualities about you that allowed you to get to where you are right now? Because those are the same qualities that are going to take you to this next place that you want to go. No one will ever be better at being you than you. If you're trying to be someone else, you're never going to be better at them at that. So, okay guys, wow. I was on a fucking roll there. I'm heated. I'm passionate about this, clearly. But now, okay, now we're bringing it back, and now we are going to turn this into an action item, right? You're all fired up. You're like, fuck yeah, this is who I am. Hell yeah, this is what I'm going to do. This is what makes me good at this, and this is what's going to get me to the next level. Heck yeah. Okay, so now we are going to channel this into action. We are going to implement this so that you can actually implement it and see success from everything we just talked about, okay? Get out your journal. And here's what we're going to fill in. Okay, so on one side, you're going to write all of the things, the physical world, titles, qualities, things that you have, achievements, success, those things that you have right now that you might identify as. If someone says, oh, what do you do for work? Or who are you? What are you? Like, you would say, oh, I'm a manifestation coach. Okay. Oh, okay, what do you do? Oh, I speak, I'm a coach, I do that. Like, write down the physical world things that you would identify as or identify with or list out as like achievements or, milestones in your career or whatever. Write out those things on this side, things that you would you tend to identify as or with, or before this episode you would have identified as. Write those down. And then on the other side, one by one, take those. Okay, so if you're a coach, now you're going to write down the actual qualities, the actual essences, identities, attributes about yourself that make you good at that, because this is who you actually are. So we want to highlight all of these qualities. That's who you actually are, so that you can channel this into getting to your next level, getting to the next goals you want to achieve, all the things, making sure that this is what's showing up in your content. So if you're a coach, maybe what you actually are, the essence that you actually are, is you're compassionate, you're a leader, you're insightful, you are resilient, you are introspective. Like, what are those qualities that make you good at that? If you are a 10K plus a month business owner, like, what makes you good at that? Are you logical? Are you a problem solver? Are you determined? Are you resilient? Are you consistent? What are the qualities that make you good at that? Write those out for each of those goals, each of those things that you would have previously identified as or been like, yep, this is who I am. Write them all out, and then write out what actually allowed you to be successful at that, what actually allowed you to achieve that goal. And when you write down all those qualities, all those essences, read those back. That's who you actually are. That is what I want you to remember. That is what I want you to make sure you are showing up in every piece of content and everything you do, with knowing you are all of those things. You are creative, you are resilient, you are innovative, you're authentic. Whatever they are, that's what I want you to remember. So take this exercise seriously. Take the time to do this, because this is going to give you so much insight, and it's going to give you so much power back into who you actually are and what you actually do. And these are the things that are going to put you in a category of one. There's plenty of people who've hit 10K a month in business, but not everyone has this unique combination of these essences, attributes, qualities about them. This is what puts you in a lane of one. This is what eliminates your competition, is when you realize no one else can be you. That is what this is all about. So go through this exercise, take it seriously, and tell me, go figure out, like, what is your actual essence? You're not just a business owner. You're not just what you do. You're not just your achievements. You're not just a dollar sign of what you've made in business. What actually allowed you to do that? And then come back tomorrow, because then we are breaking down, okay, yep, you do all these great things. You offer all these great services. You're successful at all these things. But it's actually way deeper than that. Now that we know that, like, we are this person that's allowed us to be successful at this, we're going to break down, like, okay, no, these things are way more than just these achievements. These are changing lives. This is way more, like, what I offer is way more than what I offer. It's way more valuable than what I'm actually giving myself credit for. That's what we're breaking down tomorrow. That's the value that we're instilling tomorrow. So I will see you guys